Sounds good.
All right, welcome on in, everybody. My name is Alex Wren with Lifetime Quantum Wellness. So happy to see everybody coming in, and so happy to have you here on the replay. We're so excited to have our evening commanding wealth and healing of all aspects of your life circle tonight. Tonight we are talking about some pretty cool stuff. We are talking about serving from your saucer, not your cup. What does that mean? And forgiveness for freedom. That feels good, right? And we're talking about creating a state of excellence, but we're talking about embodying that state of excellence that we're creating. So some pretty cool stuff that we're going to talk about tonight. So happy to have everybody coming in. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. So go ahead and enjoy the tunes, and we'll get started here soon. And if you would like to join in the circle on Zoom, there actually is a registration link right down below, either here on Facebook, on YouTube, or even here on Periscope. And you're welcome to pop in and get that personal help that you would like to be able to define what you would like to manifest and really be in the zone and kind of help the community shift as we shift together. But we're happy to have you here on the replay or watching the live stream, and we would be happy to have you comment and maybe leave any information that you are that's coming to you while we're creating our commands today, and anything that you're creating. Would love to see what you're wanting to manifest. So we'll be getting started here in just a couple minutes. So happy to have you come on in. So get comfortable, grab a piece of paper, because there might be something that might come up for you.
Sounds good. Let's go. Very interested to hear what you have to say today.
Good. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Sue. Hi there, everybody. My name's Alex from Lifetime Quantum Wellness. So happy to have everybody coming on in and joining us on the replay. We've got a smaller circle today, just more of a one-on-one circle with Sue and I, but we're still going to go through the transmission of different kind of things that I wanted to bring to the table today. So let me go ahead and get us open here. There we are. All right. And let me go ahead and get my screen sharing. Awesome. All right. All right, everybody, we're going to get started here. This is our commanding wealth and healing circle of all areas of your life. And we got some pretty cool stuff to go over today. So the way we like to kick it off, the way I like to kick it off is I like to kind of get our body moving a little bit. So Sue, I'm going to get some music going so we can get our soul engaged, our little kid can play. So hold on one second and let me get that for us. All right, there we go. There we go. Woo! There we go. Let's dance. There we go. Get our bodies moving, feeling good. Get the energy up. Woo! All right. Thank you so much for joining me on that. All right. So Sue, what do we have to celebrate today? What's going on with you in personal breakthrough world?
Well, you think you think I'd be prepared by now?
You know what? I'll go first. It's okay because we were
That's good.
chatting,
You
so
go
it's like
first.
like our brains were elsewhere. So and I appreciate you joining me today. You had a wonderful circle yesterday, and actually part of my breakthrough using the one command and part of what we did yesterday is, hey, look at this. Here, let me get over onto so we can see here. So look at this. Turning my head, looking up and
Cool.
down, right?
Wow, that
Turning my
is
head,
so
looking up and
cool.
down, right? Like yesterday in my neck, it was like I couldn't even go this far, and then this was like way painful over here. So we did a commanding of bringing. Actually, I gotta look it up because I want to look at what you said, and because it was very nice. It was.
Release and dissolve underlying causes.
Yes, and be flexible and energized. Yes, so releasing those underlying causes. Thank you, Sue. So that was really quite an amazing thing to think about and bring into play during healing. Releasing underlining causes. So whatever that was, maybe I reached for something. It was like something maybe way down on my arm that actually twinged my neck, or maybe just staying up at night reading a book. Who knows what it was, but bringing in the good news of, hey, we did that command, and then later on that day, not today, yesterday, I was like increasing the movement and increasing the movement as the hours went on. Like at the end of the circle, it was like tingling, and I was feeling a little bit of like ease. Couldn't do full
Good.
rotation yet, but I think that's a serious woohoo
That is a
because
serious woohoo,
yeah,
woohoo indeed.
yes. So that's mine. What would you like to celebrate today, Sue?
Um, Alex, I am celebrating um coming into myself. I think part of what I shared yesterday really um putting it all together and thinking it through and thinking about it all made me come to realize that I need to focus in on um, bringing into clarity, really maybe solidifying, but really bringing into clarity my picture of and my understanding of what my inner vision of my best self is. I've
Hmm.
always sort of had it's sort of always been a vague notion.
Hmm.
It's sort of always been out there somewhere, and I sort of have a vague notion, and I've done all this work. I mean, it's been a long, long time. But somehow it was never a priority to clarify and solidify and bring into myself that vision of who I am and what my best self is and what that means to me.
Hmm.
So, and who do I want to be?
Yeah.
Spent so much time running around trying to figure out who I should be, who I could be, what all sorts of things,
Yeah. All the
um,
options.
but not who do I want to be. So that's a big yeehaw for me. Um,
Yeah.
that I'm now focusing in on, as I was saying yesterday, like we need water and we digging around for everything but water. And I sort of had my own aha moment in that moment, going like, aha, I, what's my water? What's that for me?
mm.
Because I've spent so much time digging and searching and building and whatever else, but not really knowing what that is for me. So for me, that's actually huge.
Wow, I love that. Yeah, it's like you were having the aha yesterday, and then it kind of continued into the question that you can find the answer to. What does Sue really want?
Mm-hmm.
So very good. That's a perfect place of discovery, so that you can be in your greater self and let the answers flow instead of
Yeah,
being in search. So,
yeah,
woo, awesome!
yeah.
I love it.
Thank you.
Okay, well that's awesome. And so for today, during our, I'm just gonna kick into the transmission for today, and then we can choose our commands. Maybe you have one that you've already focused on today, or maybe whatever I'm going to say is going to help you kind of reshift whatever it is for you, and whatever it is for you here on the replay. Happy to have you come in so that you can be able to receive this training as well. So today, and we're just going to take a breath together, Sue. And one more deep one. And you can join us on the replay, of course, because what we do when we breathe deep and warm like that is that we're actually disconnecting from any kind of stressor that might have been happening in our day around us. Any kind of stress energy, it's just kind of drop off. It's just going to boop. Because we're taking that notice inward. We're actually paying attention to our breath as we're breathing that deeply. So something I like to always say is, how are we living life? Are we living life transactionally, or are we living life transformationally? And that's the way I like to live life. Use that paintbrush a little more. Be able to be more in creation rather than just 20 feet ahead, 20 feet ahead, 20 feet ahead, 20 feet ahead. That's like driving in the pitch dark with your high beams on at 80 miles an hour. You're bound to have an accident soon enough. So, being more in creation, having more ease, more like, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to just like be driving. I can see, I can create, I can know. So that's the way we like to live life, using the one command, because we know that we can create our own reality. We're in that realization and understanding that we are our greater good. So that's the way I like to give a start, and because it's that universal connection that we have, that we are remembering. It's not necessarily, well, sometimes it's unlocking, sometimes we locked it away, that spiritual side that we pushed down, because of different things that we've had happen in our past, maybe around religion, maybe around family stories, but that is our true pure potential way of being, is that connection with self and that connection with source, to be able to be bringing in and manifesting in that way. So we're gonna start with remembering, always being connected with peace and joy, because that's where we were born. That's how we came into this amazing earth. We came here as this being that was filled with such potentiality. And remember when you were a kid and you thought you could fly? Well, we can. We can fly and levitate as children. And when we start to grow up, maybe we've done it when we're alone, and then we get ready and we're like gonna jump off the bed, and mom comes in. No, don't do that. No, you'll hurt yourself. Well, that was the end of that. No longer will that child be able to fly. Just like that, where we have these amazing abilities inside of us, and somebody knocked us down while we were young and said, nope, that's not what we do. Don't do that. That's not how we do, or that's scary. But it was scary for them, not necessarily for you, because you're this small child that's invincible, right? So always bringing yourself back to that amazing spirit that you are, because negativity and different ways that we experience unsupportiveness in our life is truly taught. We learn it, and they can be lies. They're lies that maybe we learned via mistake of who taught it to us, because that was what they do was best. That was the way that we were continuing to stay safe, right? We were building our comfort zone off of someone else's comfort zone, or off of tribal comfort zone of how to stay safe. So when we remember, that's us being our pure potentiality, our God self, our real being of how we're viewing the world. We're viewing the world from our God self, but the world is viewing us through our veil of programming. All of those things that I just talked about, that's how the world is viewing us. And when we activate our internal greater capacity and remembrance, that's when we're able to, really be in our flow. And when we activate internal forgiveness for those negativities or lies that we've learned over time, that's when our spirit starts to be able to unlock, and that little kid is able to play more. And when we're kind of engaging our internal child even more so, that's when the magic happens. It's like, I was just having a meeting with one of my high school drama teachers. I also teach technical theater and film, and now live streaming. And it was that realization that we have to bring play in more, because yes, these are high school students. They're learning how to be adults, but guess what? They are still children. They're closer to their inner child than we even are. And they need to still have that inner connection and have it be close, right? So it was like, I had a really amazing conversation about that with her, because it was like, oh, why don't we turn the fun and play that you have with your drama kids into the same fun and play you have with your language arts students, and have them have that kind of play, and have this kind of, could be boring to some people, subject, have this different impact on them, because there's this element of play, this element of fun. So that's why I want us to kind of always weave in that peace and joy, operating from there. And that's what we can truly do with our connection to our greater capacity, going up and being in our source, our luminosity of all that is possible, our endless possibilities where there's no programming. So, and we'll get there. We're going there. We're gonna go on a ride. We're gonna be there. We're gonna have some amazing commands that we're gonna bring in today. So let's talk about this idea of serving from your saucer, not from your cup, because we have a cup, right? I wish I had. Well, I don't really have anything. Well, I have this teacup here. And you can just imagine a saucer on the bottom. Now, there's like half liquid in here right now. So that means I need a little bit more self-care that I'm putting into myself, this cup. This cup is yourself. This cup is your spiritual, or your connection to your self-care. And if you imagine I'm pouring liquid in and it overflowing to this saucer down below, that's what we as leaders, healers, people that are motivators to others, or even like fitness people, fitness personal development coaches, being able to serve your clients from the overflow from the saucer, because then you no longer are going to be depleting yourself in the process of service. That service is going to be, you're going to be powered up. You're on 120% because 20%'s down here. And once you deplete that 20%, you're no longer going to have that, I got to take a week off. It's like, because you have that habit, you've created that habit of constantly filling your cup to overflow, and overflow is great, and being able to then serve from that. Here, let me give you some of this. here, let me give you some of this. There's still more to come. There's still more to come, right? And constantly being in that goodness, and not feeling depleted. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about with serving from our cup, because in life we can realize that everything we do, we have a viewpoint of, if we have a viewpoint of this is a marathon, then we realize that, like a marathon runner, you have to constantly be in practice. You have to constantly be feeding your body the good fuel so that you can have that rapid fire response. So that's part of filling our cup. So always understanding that we're not going to really make it. There's not a finish line that we're going to get to and be like, I'm full. Yeah. It's constant, right? It's a constant thing that as we're pouring into ourselves, yourself, that we can continue to pour into ourselves and start to have more and more overflow. And if you can, when we want to be able to serve others, that's where we serve from. Because we always want to constantly be trying to serve from our cup. If we don't imagine that there's a saucer there, and then we have that depletion. So we always want to stay focused on creating that extra to then serve from. And that is as simple as asking for that extra, asking our spirit guides, our ancestors, our source mind for that extra amount of self-care. What is that self-care that maybe I need more of? Asking that question and having that answer come in as a flyer comes into the mail or an email pops in, and it's like, oh, that's what I need to do. Great. I'm going to do that so that then I can be energized, revitalized, and be able to be ready to serve, right? So that feels great, right? To be able to serve from our saucer, and so the next part that I want to step into in our transformation that we're creating is the thought that forgiveness is to unlock freedom in ourselves. Because we kind of touched on this a little bit yesterday, Sue, when we were talking about forgiveness and kind of having that clear space. So I really wanted to touch more on that because I think it's very important. And what is that space that we're clearing? Well, it's the programs that are within us. It's the things that maybe we haven't faced because they're so painful that we've been trying to run away from them. Now, that brings up another great point, that change only happens two ways in the body: via moving closer to pleasure or moving away from pain. So if that change in you has happened from moving away from pain, then you're definitely going to have to get closer to that pain and forgive it so that that energetic center in your body can be freed up, so that you can be operating at your full potential because you've made that space. You're unleashing. And forgiveness doesn't necessarily have to be like, hey, Sue, I forgive you for what you did. Or, hey, let's take it off of Sue and put it into my life and perspective. Hey, maybe an ex-partner of mine, I forgive you for how you treated me. And it's not a conversation that you're having, it's a conversation that you're having, right? You're having this conversation inside yourself because we are masters of our creation. We're 110% responsible for creating our reality. So that means every single person in our reality is a representation of us, the us in, or the them in us. So it would be, I forgive the X in me for doing that to me and disgracing my reputation or whatever happened, right? And doing that forgiveness inside of me so that I can be more in a peace and ease. I no longer have that tape running when I encounter something, and all of a sudden it's like that little data loop kind of soup kind of pumps in, and you're like, oh God, that again? No, you don't. You meet it in the moment. You say, okay, thank you. And gratitude is huge when we're working with our programs, because they've been keeping us safe, right? So thank you for that's a great notice, and I forgive that in me that was damaged by that experience. And like I say, it's not it's something that you're unleashing yourself, so that there's more parts of you energetically available for the future. A really good term, if we talk about relationships, you're basically you're oh, what's the good, it's a good phrase, I gotta get it here. You're not having your next pay for your ex. Ooh, right? You're dealing with the turmoil inside, and you're not gonna wait and deal with that turmoil inside when you're in that next relationship. You're not going to allow that to be how you deal with your trauma, because it's not their trauma to deal with. They have nothing to do with it. But it's that same energetic connection of a relationship, a business partner, a lover, that it's like your brain goes, this is the same. Great. We're going to do and look for the same thing that we had in the last time. No, it's not the same. Individuals, people are not the same. But your comfort zone is like, oh, this feels the same. Well, make sure you remember all of these things, right? That's just our programming. That's our programming doing this. And we can do this. We can go and release and let go of those things, those traumas, right? So, and one last point on forgiveness is forgiveness, and I've said this before, but it's powerful. Forgiveness is not a transaction for an apology. You're not forgiving that inside of you and then expecting an apology to come your way. That's not what it's for. It's for you to be able to be at your greater self, your higher potential. And guess what's going to happen? When you shift and change your cells and all the atoms of your body to be in alignment with that greater good of that forgiveness, that other person's going to shift, as well as maybe other people that may have reminded you of that interaction. It's no longer going to be there, because your reticularly activated center is no longer going to be looking for it, because you've forgiven it. You've put in its place something that is more healing and more serving of more good. So that's our piece on forgiveness for freedom. It's a powerful thing to do. It can be painful, but I would venture to say that, reach out to one of your mentors and say, hey, I need a little help. I need a little help to be able to really dive into this. And I can be that mentor for you. A one-on-one session would be very simple to start to dive into some of those things that can be starting to work on the forgiveness inside yourself that can unlock your greatness, right? So that's a little bit about our universal connection with our forgiveness, and something that I want to also state here is there's no place that the solution is not. So when you work on that forgiveness, there's no place that there's not going to be that instant good that can come into your life to fill that space, because then you're now open to that solution to present itself. Yeah. Ooh, that was a good one, right?
That's a very good one. That's a very good one.
Oh, so the next thing that I want to click into right before we start to understand our commands is creating our state of excellence. And we went over this a couple weeks ago, but what I want to shift into is really that embodying that state of excellence. So I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to rattle off a couple of less than resourceful states, and then a couple of resourceful states. And in listening to me, I want you to see if maybe in your body you could feel maybe where that might hit you, right? So in a less resourceful state, maybe maybe you had some annoyance, maybe there was an abandonment, maybe you're defensive, you're disempowered, you're feeling limited, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling powerless, maybe you have some sadness, maybe you're a little wounded from an experience, and maybe you're just washed out, just drained, right? So as I listed those, it's like maybe we could feel some of that, like in your shoulder, or in your third eye, or on your in your abdomen, just a heaviness. And so to identify with that, that's really, as we're shifting our state of mind, when we're realizing, hey, I'm in a non-resourceful state right now. I'm feeling pretty sad. I'm feeling pretty wounded. And like, where is that? Oh, it's like my heart, maybe in my tummy. I'm like, oh. And so then realizing that, and then going, great, I am going to shift into a state of resourcefulness, and breathing in those more resourceful states like amusement and abundance and awesomeness and adventurous and your brilliance and your empowerment, your delight, your excitement, and you're focused, you're free spirited, you're groovy, you're joyful, you're kissable, you're magnificent. You're raring to go. You're understood. You're wacky. You're wise, right? Where and understanding when we're thinking about those feelings, those states, how are those activating in our body? So then we can take and reactivate those sources, those spaces that we're not feeling so resourceful. So that it's not just here in our mind, but it's all throughout our body, creating that resourceful feeling and that resourceful body. We're not just a resourceful mind, we're a resourceful body, so that all of our neurology is chugging along together. It's not our mind trying to be like, hey down there, you got it? We're feeling excited now. Hello. Right? So it's like you're breathing that excitement into your tummy, that excitement into your heart, that excitement into your legs. You just want to stand up and be like, woo, I am ready, right? So it's like, woo, right now, just even doing that, it's like a little bit of vibration happening, right? So how much faster is that than trying to think ourselves more resourceful? And yes, we use the one command to be able to bring those states into our neurology, but just stopping and doing it like with our physical body, bringing our mind more into what is my physical body doing in these states. So that's what I wanted to talk about and have it be a remembrance, so that we can continue to make state changes. That was state change and shift at the same time, and shifts, so that we can be able to move through our turmoil at a very fast paced rate, and be able to start to understand, oh, why am I a little less resourceful in my heart? Okay, tune in. Okay, was it from something that happened to me recently? Did I just step into a trauma cycle that I kind of go through? And then using the one command, once you're been able to understand what that is, dive deeper and be able to go to our most resourceful state of theta, right? And so, like, I don't know how I am in a state of excellence now. I only know I am so now. So that's just a little bit on that. And, making sure that we're always redirecting our thinking to prosperity. This tunes us to our God's source self. And it gets us into that field of possibilities. It's a field. We can just go pick up a blade of grass. Go pick up a blade of possibility. Go pick and smell a rose of possibility and bring that in, right? So I'm going to talk about theta, right? So maybe some of you on the replay are like, what is this theta state he keeps talking about? And that's one of our brain waves, right? So I just want to talk super quick about our brain waves. So right now we're all in beta right now. Maybe you're in a little bit of alpha because you're like, oh, I'm hearing you. It's like watching TV. So our beta mind is from 14 to 30 hertz. So very fast. You can hear the dog barking outside. You can see the light. You can hear the music in the background. Whatever. It's like all these things you can do. Your beta mind can comprehend. But its sphere of influence is like the state that you're in. Like I'm in Washington, Sue's in Canada. So the what do you refer to as a state? It's
Alberta province.
a providence. That's right. So like a providence, like it's the sphere of influence the size of a providence or a state. And then when we drop our brainwave to alpha, it's actually the equivalent of having the sphere of influence of our entire planet. So having the resources to reach out and get information from our entire planet. So that's pretty resourceful. But when we drop our brainwave one more time into theta, which is our active sleep state, which that's operating from 4 to 7 hertz. So that's a little slower, right? So it has a larger span of influence. And that's like being able to have resources and answers gotten from the entire universe and universes that are compound on top of all the millions and billions of galaxies that are out there, right? And then we have one more brain wave that's delta, and that's even lower than theta, and that's like a comatose patient, or maybe your reptilian brain kind of activates in delta. Maybe you've thought of a time where it was like that fight or flight where you all of a sudden could see things slowing down and you could see the choices and you made a choice. You're consciously activating your delta brainwave to be able to get the perfect thing that's going to be giving your body protection in that moment. And that's operating from 5 to 3.5 hertz, and that's like multi-dimensional information. Like basically, if you're in the reality of theta, like I just said in that example, you're basically going back and forth between dimensions. It did happen. It didn't happen. I have the choice. So when we're activating our conscious brain into the theta state, that's when we can really begin to be at our conscious greatest state, where we're inputting what we want in our theta state, in our greatest luminosity of all it is, where there's pure potentiality. There's no veil, there's no programs, there's nothing blocking us, there's nothing saying, I don't think you could do that, not possible. That's not even a thing. So to be able to be manifesting true manifestation that has our soul involved, of our deepest desires and our deepest dreams, that state is a state where we can be consciously manifesting from. And that's what we do with the one command. So I just wanted to talk about the brainwaves real fast because, maybe you've saw the replay a couple times and it's like, what are we even doing? So that's what we're doing. We're dropping our brainwaves so that we can be in a more expansive sphere of influence, so that we can have our thinking mind take a break and allow answers to come in from a different state. And just a couple benefits from the theta state is, the quieting of emotions and thoughts, a deeper level of healing and restoration of the body, increased sense of love and self-love and love for others, right? Because you're operating at that God self, that pure potentiality, that peace, right? More self-acceptance. Who doesn't want that, right? A greater tolerance for anything, because you realize that Maybe you can shift something when you find something that you need to tolerate, and you're like, let's go ahead and shift that. Let's make it more in alignment, not a toleration, right? And then permanent change as ideas are synergistically integrated. So we're making those shifts in our DNA so that we're not going back to our old programming. We're actually healing and allowing new programs to set in. So that's just a little bit about how and why we operate consciously from the state of theta while we're creating when we're activating our commands. So, Sue, did you have any commands that you came to the table with today? Or did you
I
want me to go over some that I
did,
thought of?
yeah, I did not. I'm just sort of, I'm relaxing. I think I'll just let
Okay,
you, you go ahead, and I'm happy so far. It's all good.
love it, love it. So for everybody else, we're gonna these are commands that kind of came up to me, and so on the screen you can see I don't know how, and then state your command, which is what you want. It's what you want to create, and also what maybe you're commanding that evidence on the other side of what you want to create. So not only are you commanding for $1,000 to come in this week, maybe you're commanding for what that $1,000 is going to pay for, or where that $1,000 is going to go, right? So I don't know how expected money and support show up for me now. I only know it is so now. What is that? Right? It's like we're having our brain kind of pause. We're surrendering to not knowing. We're giving up. This is allowing our beta mind to go, huh? And then we drop in what we want, and that we only know it is so now because our consciousness, our multi-conscious and subconscious, only are active in the now. They're not active 10 minutes ago. They're not active in 20 minutes. It's now. So that's why we state it in the now, so that our subconscious, our multi-conscious goes, oh, I hear you. I'm on it right now. So another one that we talked about last week was about our receptor sites, being able to stop the flow of unsupportive thoughts or non forward movement receptor sites, receptor sites in our brain that are addicted to our negativity or unsupportive states of being, and being able to close those off and open up new receptor sites. So I don't know how new receptor sites to cash, riches, and prosperity are opening for me now. I only know it is so now. So that's one that I'll probably there because that's something nice to be able to help reprogram our mind for things that we don't understand that might be a problem. You know, if we haven't taken the time to really, oh, this is the list of all my programs. If we haven't taken time to do that, then this will help, just in a more subtle way, start to close those off and open more up. And that's what we want to be. We want to be in that state of prosperity, right? Oh, and I think another one that we can bring in is I don't know how I am my best possible support to my own self now. I only know I am so now. Thank you, and I'm fulfilled. So that's what we'll start with, and so I'm going to go ahead and so we do 6 steps to get to theta and in our manifesting. And so we ground, we align, we go to theta. When we're going to theta, we're going to roll our eyes up. We're going to imagine, picture, visualize. We're going to have our eyes closed, and we're going to imagine that we're like trying to see out of the top of our head. So that might activate your eyes with rapid eye movement. And that is the physical thing that's happening when we're in our sleep state. When we're in our sleep state, our eyes are kind of doing this like rapid eye movement because our brainwave is in that state. So this is a way to help our physiology click into the norm of drop to theta. So that's why when I say roll your eyes up, that's what you're going to do. You're gonna have your eyes closed. You're going to roll your eyes up as if you're looking up through the top of your brain, or maybe picture visualizing, trying to see back to your tailbone, and that's when your eyes might flutter. And then we'll go ahead and follow a beam of light, and then we'll be in our pure potentiality. We'll state what we want to create or manifest, and then we'll bring that back down into our body, receiving with gratitude, and we'll actually zoom into our DNA. We'll unwind it. We'll let go these programs that maybe have served us for so long that no longer are they needing to be front of the line. We can let them go. It's energy that we can let go back down to the earth. And then we're going to rewind our DNA so that our new manifestations are coming into our physiology. And those are the new programs that are now running us. And we can be walking and being in that state. So I just want to go over that just for our newcomers. And so let me go ahead and get some wonderful music on here for us. So go ahead and just get yourself in a state of comfort and feet flat on the ground. Right. So start to feel your breath. Feel your lungs expanding and contracting. And start to notice where your hands are. Just become present. And start to move your consciousness now down, out the bottom of your legs, out through your feet, and imagine roots coming out the bottom of your feet, growing into the ground and growing down deep into the earth, wrapping around all the amazing supportive minerals and earth gems, rubies, sapphires, amethyst, tiger's eye, topaz, and just really feel this wonderful earth energy that we can connect in with all these crystals and gold and platinum. You can, as we're down here, we can just really link in to the universal crystal and wrap your roots tight around that to really bring up that loving earth energy, that pulsation of the earth. Start to bring that up your roots, that love, that support, that alignment of our good, that alignment of our greater capacity, that alignment of our faith and trusting without knowing, that alignment with our abilities. And start to bring that up into our legs, back into our abdomen, surrounding our head, and coming back down into your heart. And just open your heart to this love and take a deep breath and expand that breath out 360 degrees around you. And begin to take another breath and just imagine all the blessings in your life and breathing life into those blessings. And sending that out 360 degrees around us. Maybe there's a person that's a blessing that you can send some of that loving earth energy to. Maybe there's a a aspect of yourself that is a blessing that you can remember and send that blessing and earth energy to. And now start to begin to move your consciousness up, and we're going to imagine a beam of light, a golden beam of light coming out the top of your head, and we're going to roll our eyes up under our closed eyelids, and we're going to follow that beam of light out into the room, out up through the ceiling, up through the house, out through the atmosphere and the clouds, and we're punching through the Van Allen belt, and we're now in the space, and we're moving quickly through our solar system and punching through the Milky Way and into the millions and trillions and billions of galaxies and solar systems and creative beings. And we're flying through all this amazing spiritual energy of the galaxy, and pretty soon we come to this black void of space. It wraps around us like a blanket, and we're gonna just see this crack that can open for us and pull back this veil into this white luminosity of all that is, this pure potentiality, this pure amazing state of your God self. This is your multi-conscious. This is the you within you, that blessed one. This is where we can manifest from. Pure state. And now we're going to state our commands. I don't know how. I am successful and supported now. I only know it is so now. Thank you. And I am so gratefully fulfilled. And I don't know how. I am living in a state of excellence now and always. I only know it is so now. Thank you. And I am so gratefully fulfilled. And I don't know how. I am the best possible support in my world now. I only know it is so now. Thank you. And I am so gratefully fulfilled. And I don't know how I am safe when I am connected to Source. I only know I am safe in my new world now. Thank you. And I am so gratefully fulfilled. And expand out. We're going to expand those ideas into greater ideas for even greater good, even greater potential. We're going to let go of what those ideas mean, and we're going to allow this openness of bigger, better, more service. These amazing beings in our pure potentiality bringing us answers to questions we didn't even know that we were asking. Sounds, colors, textures, expand. And I don't know how I open new receptor sites to cash, riches, and prosperity now. I only know that I do so now. Thank you, and I am so gratefully fulfilled. And I don't know how I close off my fearful and poverty receptor sites. I only know that I do so now. Thank you, and I am so gratefully fulfilled. I don't know how I experience miracles now. I only know I am so now. Thank you. I am so gratefully fulfilled. I don't know how I am valued and wanted by others now. I only know that people are knocking down the door for my services now. I only know it is so now. Thank you, and I am so gratefully fulfilled. I don't know how. Projects are coming to peaceful and easy sections of next level. I only know it is so now. Thank you, and I am so gratefully and abundantly fulfilled. And expand out. Expand into an idea even greater than yourself, even greater than those manifestations, even greater than that. Expand. And now we're going to gather up all this amazing expanse, gathering it into our spirit being, gathering it in, and we're going to turn around and we're going to start going back down that golden beam of light that brought us here. It knows the way home. Back down to the millions and trillions of interplanetary systems and beautiful beings, and flying through all these millions and billions of galaxies, and coming up to the Milky Way, punching in, and flying past Jupiter, coming up to the Earth now. Back down the beam of light, back down through the clouds, back down through the atmosphere, back down into your home, back down into your body. And now you're going to zoom in. We're going to receive. Thank you. Thank you. It is so. It is so. We're going to receive these new manifestations coming in gratitude. So we're going to zoom into our DNA and we're going to allow it to unwind. We're going to allow our DNA to unwind and let go of anything that's not serving us in this new state of being. Unwind, unwind, unwind. Unwind unresourceful thinking. Unwind I am not enough. Unwind there is not enough time. Unwind there is no way I can. Unwind, unwind, unwind. We're letting that go back down through our roots. Mother Earth knows exactly what to do with that energy. She can recycle it. She can make it new. She can make it reusable for all. And now we're going to rewind this new manifestation coming in, this new wonderful ability of expanse coming in. We're going to rewind. I am enough. Rewind. The right solution arrives now. Rewind. I am a miracle. Rewind. I am implementing. Rewind. I am my greater good. Rewind. Rewind. Rewind your new receptor sites. Rewind your new resourceful states. Rewind that you are limitless now. Rewind. 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 And as you're feeling that integration, as you're feeling complete in that integration, go ahead and zoom back out and send your consciousness back down your legs, back down your roots, and regrow new roots out of these roots into new possibilities, these new stabilities of this new state of being, this new amazing holographic image of the new you supporting you. I don't know how it came to be that all of these integrations take place in me now. I only know that it is so now. Thank you, and I am so gratefully fulfilled. Reground to this new state of being. Reground, finding those roots, wrapping around those loving earth stones, that platinum, that uranium, that gold, that silver, those diamonds, the rubies, the sapphires, the amethyst, feeling that support of the earth, that that support, beat, pulsation of the earth, and drawing up that alignment of love, drawing up that loving spirit back up into your heart, back up around your body, creating and encapsulating your body into your greater good. And let's just silently state inside our body. Let's zoom into our every atom of our body. I don't know how it came to be that I am integrated at every level. I only know I am so now. Thank you, and I am so gratefully fulfilled. And picture, visualize that manifestation starting from your center core of your chakras and expanding out through each atom of your body, right to left, and leaving your body, changing each and every atom, flowing around the world, around this amazing planet, shifting and changing all beings, all atoms, for your greater good and the greater good of all. And as that manifestation reaches itself, it rips back through your the amazing earth and connects in with your roots, and you can draw that back up your roots, back up into your body, back up into your head. And when you feel ready, go ahead and come back into the room, open your eyes, start to look around, start to wiggle your fingers and toes. You see the colors of the balloons. You see the blue, you see the orange, you see the red, you see the purple, beautiful sky. All right.
Oh, thank you, Alex. That was just wonderful. That was lovely.
You are
That was
so welcome, Sue.
lovely, lovely.
You are so welcome, my dear.
I am cider drunk for sure.
Oh yes, and that's okay because we're still integrating. We're bringing in the and how wonderful to be manifesting from this state of being, this peace and calm and overwhelming goodness, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So we can remember that, right? And so the seventh step is inspired action. So be ready for an idea, be ready for inspiration or an opportunity to show up, and go for it, because that's your greater good that is in alignment with what you just asked for to be manifested. So be ready for that. It's going to show up.
You too.
Absolutely. So I like to bring the circle to a close, and we do our affirmations to each other. We always do this part of basically affirming that our commands are happening, so that we in our lives sometimes we don't have that kind of support backing us up on the ideas that we have inside our brain. Sure, we have support on ideas that maybe we've said out loud, but this is a way to have that support from another human being as well as ourselves, to an idea that's inside of ourselves. So I'm going to go ahead and say this here, and Sue, you can say back to me. And then as well as for everybody on the replay, you can hear it for yourselves as well. So Sue, I absolutely know and witness your command being activated in you in every way now. And Sue, I see you walking in your new manifestation, your new good, your amazing potential now.
Thank you, Alex. Alex, I absolutely know and witness your command being activated in you now. I see you walking in your new manifestation, in your richness, in your prosperity, in abundance, and in joy. And I fully support you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining me today. I would love it if there was a command that you specifically attached onto in the recording of this. Once I've posted it, if you could go in and just place that command in there. I'll place some of the ones in that we talked about today, but that helps the group to continue to grow and continue to expand, because maybe a command that we've stated is something that might just need a little bit of a tweak to be something that's just right for somebody else. Because as I like to say, where energy goes, energy grows, and we can continue to be in that state of expanse. So thank you so much, Sue. We will have another circle again next week. And as we like to do, we're going to go ahead and, well, before we do that, I just want to do just a slight miniature recap. So within, I'm a bit theta drunk myself. So let's see if I can get this going here. Okay. So we are, today we talked about our amazing self and how we can forgive to be in our state of freedom. And this is something that we always want to remember. We always want to be in that state of serving from our saucer, not our cup, because that's our cup, right? We have our saucer that we can serve to others in what we are doing. And through that, we can always remember our greater states of excellence, and remembering that not just thinking about them in our brain, but feeling them in our body. What does excellence feel like in our tummy? What does excellence feel like in our arm? What does excellence feel like in our heart? So that was I just wanted to do a quick little recap of things that we brought focus to today. And so as I like to do to bring in more and more play, I want to just dance it out. I want us to be in that state of bringing our soul alive and being able to play. So thank you so much for joining me today, Sue. I'll see you next week, and just keep dancing in your spirit of goodness and engaging your soul in everything you do.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you, Sue. Take care, my dear.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, everybody. This has been an amazing circle. So happy to bring to you this amazing information. And remember that prosperity is your birthright. It is yours to have. So please join us next week, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or wherever in the world you're joining us from. So same bat time, same bat channel, and please join us again on the live stream here on Facebook, here on YouTube, here on Periscope. We're happy to have you. So continue to be in that expanse, that greater self. And this is Alex Wren from Lifetime Quantum Wellness. I'm going to sign off here in just a couple minutes, and I'm witnessing your excellence and your amazing state of success. So remember to always be in gratitude, love, and joy.